If you are using the Edge browser, you must have seen this sidebar that features some of its AI tools, starting with this that we are seeing right now, where you can chat with the bot or you can compose articles as much as even the image creator down here. Now the question is, how is it working? How is it powered? And it's not surprising to find out that it's powered by ChatGPT, the same AI engine that we know from OpenAI. Like, you can easily search that and you'd see that yes, it's through ChatGPT that it gets its detail. But then, for content creators who want to use these tools to write for their blog, you might be wondering how, or let's say, what is the difference between these two platforms? Perhaps because you can tell ChatGPT a lot of things, you feel that it may give you better content, better control over what you get and all that. And that is what I also thought, but I decided to compare the two results that I got. What I did was to ask ChatGPT directly to do the same thing as I had also asked the Bing compose feature to do. I asked Bing to help me write an article, a blog article with an enthusiastic tone on this topic and make it long. It gave me its result, and I will show you that in the Microsoft Word document soon. And I also asked ChatGPT to do the same thing. You can see it over here. That was where I asked the question, and then I featured these other questions that I added, or rather extra details that I added to make it give me a better thing to suit my audience. I believe this is something that should make it tailor the article in a way that matters to me, and that is what many of us will always do, giving ChatGPT the details that we need to give us what suits our audience. Now, I would attach this prompt for you. If you need it, it will be attached under the video description. But let's continue. So it gave its own response and showed us what it wrote over here. Now let's take the two of them over to Microsoft Word documents. On the left here we have that of Bing, and on the right here we have that of ChatGPT. This is the beginning. In summary, I would say that this looks like, after I reviewed it, it felt like I was reading the works of two students that copied each other, and one tried to make his or her own a little bit different from the original one. As we can see, there are 5 subheadings under this article, and they are exactly the same from the two sources. So we know we are already getting the same content. It's not just about LinkedIn. Oh, by the way, yes, there are many ways to grow on LinkedIn, and that is something I can always help you with from the book that I already wrote, LinkedIn Triad. The link would also be attached on the video description if you would want to read that. It's always accessible to you. But then, getting back to our content here, now let's compare what we have here. First of all, let's go through the introduction. The introduction, merely looking at it, you will know that of ChatGPT, it's more. But if you have to read through it, that's when you would realize that the only reason why it's more is because it tried to add content about the people I'm addressing. From the prompt I wrote initially, I told you the people I'm trying to address the article to, and that is what it just did here, added them as a target audience. That's the only reason why it's longer. But now let's consider the content itself. The first, optimize your profile. For all the colors that I highlighted with each one, you would realize that they are the same. For example, the yellow highlight, you see your online resume and your first impression. That's the part I highlighted, and here you see your digital resume and your first impression. That is about LinkedIn. Over here it said your LinkedIn profile, over here it just said your profile. Feels like two students that copied each other, and one is trying to make the other his or her own work different from the other. Look at the blue copy. Use a clear and friendly photo, a catchy headline, and a summary that showcases your skills and achievements. That is what we are seeing here. Your profile should include a professional profile photo, a catchy headline, and a summary that showcases your skills and achievements. They are saying the same thing. If you keep going through the colors, you would realize that they are saying the same thing. And even as you go down the article, It seems like the person they copying, they got tired of copying each other or trying to make it so different to the point that they now copy word to word. For example, this is completely the same with this. This is exactly the same with this. Just maybe over here you see do not, and over here it's don't. Things like that. And over here, just take out the finally, and you'll see that you are reading the same thing. That is how much similar they are. Remember, this is the same source, their content is from the same source, and despite how much I try to define my audience and the tone I wanted to write the article within, this is still what I get. It's something I could easily go back to my being compose feature and just ask it to write an article on this topic for me. Where does it become risky? You may be wondering. It becomes risky when there are multiple persons trying to create content on the same topic as you are, and you people are writing exactly the same thing because you copied the content of ChatGPT directly into your site. ChatGPT should be a guide to what you want to do, not the end. Don't just go copying word to word. No, make a difference. Find a way to learn from what it gives you. Compare it with what actually happens. Because except you are writing on something that is totally not in your area of interest and you are clueless on what is and what isn't, that's when you might be tempted to just copy it word to word. Maybe you are trying to break into a new field, and the only way you can do that is to talk more about it. But there are ways to go about that. If you are trying to break into a new audience, there is a way to go about that. If it's your field already, if it's your domain and you want to still create content with the guide from ChatGPT, there's a way for that. Do subscribe to my channel, and the next video will be about that. Let's get to it. Like I said, let me see you on LinkedIn, get to connect, and if it's confusing to you, feel free to follow the link in the description and get a copy of LinkedIn Triad, a guide to understanding and maximizing LinkedIn. We are talking about profile optimization, content creation, and growth hack. See you.